Hello, thank you for tuning into this section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. This section of reads should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. I'll put the stuff like the decks and the dice below that information. Besides that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? A lot of water coming in. A power moment for you looks like it's coming. Why am I getting the hiccups with that? Is that stress? Yep. And then we got the 9 of Swords, which is stress. That's why I'm getting the hiccups. One more. A power moment is trying to come forward for you. I got the Queen of Wands down here already. The King of Wands came out of the deck. A power moment is coming for you. Exactly what that means, great question. We'll find out. What is this? Because this can be a tricky card for Sag. It's the Lovers card, but that can be a tricky one because the Lovers is also the card for Gemini, which is your opposite. 7 of Cups. Which is dreams, thoughts, possibilities, sometimes illusions. That Lover's card comes in like this on the dice. So the history of this situation, there's been a lot of possibilities, but not all the possibilities were rooted in reality. And there wasn't really a way to find that out until you went down a couple roads and kind of like, sniffed it out a little bit, dug it up a little bit, took a look at it, tried to make it work and went, oh, okay, yeah, this isn't going to work. It's kind of like buying a car and then realizing it doesn't have a motor or an axle or some other pieces are missing that are vital. You're like, oh, okay, nope, this isn't going to work. Nope. And it's kind of like it looked good. It sounded good. When I looked at the application, no, that's not going to work. Oh, wait, this over here, though, this I can do something with. This with a little bit of work could be done. This is a different, like some of this could work, some of it can't. It's like this was born out of trying to figure out what actually can be created from this situation. And there's a lot of stress here because it means a lot to you that it works. Like, you're not just showing up for the fun of it. You're looking to make something happen. And you're trying to be as realistic as possible. And you're trying to include people as necessary to help move it forward. You're trying to get that community energy going. I feel like I'm trying really hard to get some type of point of reference, or at least, if I can't get it myself, trying to find somebody who's good at it to help me find a legitimate, stable, this can be a place we can stand and we can build from, and we can do this because I need this to work. I'm not just showing up just to run in circles. This can't be a just fly by night thing. It has to work. I'm showing up because this has to work, and the sooner it works, the better it is for everybody. A lot of pressure on this. And it's one of those things where I feel like I would love to be able to do this on my own, but I don't feel like that's realistic. I can move it forward. I can do what I need to do. I can keep it moving, but I am going to need some support here if I'm really going to have the level of success I need. And that's where the stress comes in. Because it's kind of like, if it was just on you to keep moving, if it was just on you to get it done, all right, then I'll do what I got to do. I need energy coming in with this. I need other people to help me. I need other people to lend a hand. The Strength card, but it's half in, half out, and then the Two of Cups reversed. What there is people, there is there are people here. I don't think it's going to last. That's the thing. I feel like they're trying to give you a heads up. You are going to get some support, but not for very long. Whatever this is, you do get some support, but for not for very long. And it's starting the situation. Somebody is helping you find the right path. I feel like most of you have somebody helping you figure out what you need to do and helping you move forward. Some of you are doing it on your own, but I feel like the majority of you are getting some type of reference. There's definitely something here where we're stabilizing, setting it up. This is what this will lead to that. We just got to stay this way, do this fast, do this much. This will work out. The help you're getting, they're saying make the most of it while it's there. Realize it's not going to last. What are these cards? The Moon, yeah. These are good cards, but like the Death card is telling me this is starting. This is moving forward. It needs to start. The Death card is the change. So whatever, it's kind of like whatever was before is not happening now. It's not, I don't see it as an ending usually. Sometimes it talks about whatever was before is no longer happening and we're starting a whole new chapter. It's kind of like when you have a child, for example, if you have a child, that's a death moment. The way you used to live life is gone. Once you have a child in your life, you're never the same. Or it's like buying a new house for the first time. Once you have that house, your life is never the same after that. Even if you sell that house, there's a period of time where you learn things, you grew, you handled things, you were responsible for things, stuff like that. It's not going to last. Okay, that's fine. It's fine in the sense of like, that's the message. People are distracted. They will help for a little while. Wheel of Fortune's going to take them out of it. The Nine of Pentacles reversed. They seem to be connected with other people, and they're dividing their energy in the very beginning, and it's not going to last. But even when they're there, even when you do have the support, it does seem like it's a divided focus. Just for something, so you're aware of it if this starts happening, and it maybe doesn't seem to be flying exactly the way it should be. People have divided focus. I don't know that there's really much you can do about that, but if you're aware of it, hopefully that helps in some respect. Your power moment is coming forward. I get that. It will be enough to get the situation moving. So this help will be enough to get it moving, but it is going to pull back. It will recede. And I'm getting like, once it does recede, it does seem to help you move the situation where you want it to go, where you feel like is necessary for it to go. I don't feel like I'm fighting for control with it. So it's kind of like there's an up and down to this. It's kind of like I actually need the help. I wouldn't really want them to walk away. But on the other hand, by them walking away, I don't have to fight for control to get this to go where I want to go. Okay. Catch 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. It feels like that. You're not willing to give up. You're coming into this to succeed. This is your power moment. You're going to make things move forward. How is this happening? I don't feel like you're doing it by yourself, but maybe there's other people. How is this working out for Sag? 8 of Cups. And the High Priestess. Oh, you might hand it off? You might hand it off. I get it so far, and then I hand it off to somebody else? Does that make sense? Does that even make sense? I'm thinking of a Sag I know, and it's not really their thing to hand things off. They usually... I don't know. I'm seeing it, so I'll just go with it. King and Queen of Fire here is telling me it's a power moment for you. You'll get it so far. When people pull back, you have the direction, you're knowing where it goes, and then you simply hand it off to other people. I just find this odd that this is how... Because I feel like it's already on track. It's almost like I got it so far, and then I laid the tracks. It's like a train. Okay. So you laid the tracks where it needs to go, and then you hand it off to somebody else, and all they have to do is keep the engine going, and the tracks are going to take them where the tracks are going to take them. Okay. I'm handing this off to somebody else. So it's almost like if I'm looking at a business, if I'm looking at this in a business sense, it's like I got like a project I'm working on. I'm trying to get other people to help me with this project. I do get people to help me, but not for very long. But it's enough for me to get it going far enough and to lay the groundwork to, like, it's the tracks for the train. You're laying the tracks for the train. And then I have another group I'm handing it over to, and they just got to keep the engine going to the end. That's all they have to do. It's like, that's what has to happen. They're saying be careful and don't see that as an easy win. Be careful. There's a possibility here if you want to make sure the success happens. Stay somewhat involved. Spot check on it every now and then, like, if it has to go a little faster, help it get going a little faster. If it's going a little too fast, ironically, they're saying, do what you need to do to slow that up a little bit. If it seems like it's going a little reckless, help stabilize it so it stays on path the way it's supposed to. Every now and then they're saying, even though you're handing it over to somebody else, they're saying to get the outcome you're definitely needing, I would just spot check it. Just try not to own it. Just spot check it, and then just help where you can. It's almost like visiting a good relative or friend. And it's like, oh, I'm going to come for coffee, and while you're there for coffee, you're like, oh, here, I'll help straighten this up. I'll help you do a couple little things while we're visiting. It's like they're making lunch for you, and you're like, I'll help you do that. And they're like, cleaning up afterwards, and I'll help you do that too. It's kind of like, I'll help things a little bit without taking control. You're still in control, but I'm just helping you get where you need to go and making sure everything works out and everything's cleaned off the way it needs to, stuff like that. This is interesting. It'll work the way it's supposed to. Okay, so I was just saying this. I feel like I was just saying this, but travel lightly. Don't get too deep in it. It's going to keep moving. Just hold strong that you don't get too deep in it. Like, all this together, that Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands is kind of like, it's going to keep moving. It's going to keep moving forward. Just keep your position the same, where you stay lightly connected. You say just enough to say you're there, just enough to help here or there, just enough to help keep it where it's supposed to be. But you keep that line with the Four of Pentacles. Like, I don't go across this line. I don't pull back any farther than this, but I don't get involved any more than that. That, like, there's a sweet spot here. So, like, the Four of Pentacles is holding your position. It's not just holding on to something in a greedy way or keeping something out. It's holding your position. Like, you'll notice this person in this chair, they're holding that position. They're holding onto that coin. They got both feet on two different coins. They're holding a position there. And they're saying, as this keeps moving and moving forward, just hold your position. Don't go any farther than a certain mark. Don't pull back any farther than a certain mark. Just keep that sweet spot. Travel lightly. Literally, that's what this card says. Don't get, travel lightly. Travel lightly is travel lightly. What are we staying with that? Because I know we have a little bit more. What are we saying with that? It will go into its next evolution at some point. Whatever the situation is, it will hit a point where it goes into its next evolution. It's going to be a question mark for you. Do you want to get deeper, or do you want to pull back? I don't feel like the sweet spot's going to work at this point. It's going to be like, I stayed in the sweet spot. I didn't get overly involved. I didn't get underly involved. I just stayed in the sweet spot. When it starts going into its next evolution, which you'll know when that is, that's up to you whether you get deeper or if you completely pull away. I don't feel like I can do the sweet spot thing anymore because it goes into this next level. It takes more engagement or something. I don't feel like I have the ability to just kind of stay lightly connected. I'm either going to be fully in on it on its next evolution, or I'm going to be like, all right, we'll see what you guys are just going to have to do what you have to do. But I feel like they're saying in the next evolution, it's going to be like, I'm either in or I'm out. It's going to be one of those moments. This is where this is going to lead up to. If this reading is hitting, hopefully this is giving you a point of reference to kind of like, as all this is playing out, every now and then just do a self-audit of the situation and decide for yourself, the way this is going, I either would like to be more involved or I would like to be less involved, realizing it more than likely will go one way or the other, where you have to get fully involved or completely back out. If you keep self-auditing periodically here and there, like, it doesn't have to be a laborsome thing. Just every now and then you're just kind of like, the way this is going, do I like this? Is this feeling good? Or where this is going, I'm like, yeah, I guess, maybe if they just take it on their own, I'd rather just get out of it. Keep that in the back of your mind as you keep going forward with this situation. Okay. I think we're there. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much again for watching. Have a great day.